Hi, everybody. Welcome to Staring Down the Darkness. I'm Danny, and welcome to part two of the Holiday Blues. So, we're in the Hanukkah season. Christmas is just around the corner, and family gatherings are going to be prevalent right now. You're going to probably do a lot of socializing, whether you want to or not. With people you don't always see all the time, and you may find yourself very uncomfortable talking to certain relatives or friends or acquaintances that you haven't seen in a while. And there may be various reasons for that. Maybe you're just not comfortable around them at all. Your personalities don't mesh well, or you're embarrassed about something in your life not going the way you wanted it to, and you're embarrassed to have to answer questions about that, or your future, or your health, and anything like that. And it can be a very difficult time, and it can be a very triggering time. You're going to get a lot of, I guess we all have that one relative, maybe more than one, that likes to tease, that likes to joke around. You'll hear, in the South we call it picking. I'm just picking with you. I'm just picking at you. Or, I guess up north they call it busting your balls. For a lot of us, that can be really hard to get through. If you have mental health issues, or if you're dealing with just sadness in general, if you're thinking about a lost loved one, or you're thinking about times that were happier and somebody's constantly picking at you, it can be a real hard thing to deal with. And you have every right to excuse yourself from the room and not be in that person's orbit for a while. For the most part, what I try to do is be polite, smile, and just kind of hope they move on to somebody else. But if they don't, I'll excuse myself from the room and go find something else to do. And there's no shame in that. Don't let anybody make you feel like you're being a party pooper, or you're bringing the party down, or anything like that, or you have a bad attitude. You're protecting your own mental health. And if you can't deal at that moment with the person who obviously can't take social cues, then it's all right to excuse yourself. It's all right to say, I need a little time on my own for a minute, and go do something else. A lot of our relatives still don't understand about mental health. They still don't understand what depression is. To an alarming number of people still in this day and age, depression is just a bad mood to them. It's you wallowing in your own misery, is the way a lot of my relatives would have put it. And it's sad because they don't get it, and they never probably will. And it's up to you to protect yourself. And like I said, don't let anybody make you feel bad for protecting your own mental health. You want to be happy. Everybody wants to be happy. Everybody wants to be okay. And we have to understand our limits. There are people that are in my life, or were in my life, back in the day, when they would pick and tease and all that kind of stuff, and I would laugh along with them, or just roll my eyes and let it pass. And some days it's easy to do that, and some days it's not. But those folks were trying to, I guess, in their own way, show me love by including me in the merriment, I guess is what they would consider it. So there, a lot of times these people don't have bad intentions. Now there may be relatives who are just like that and are not nice people that have bad intentions. I'm not saying they're not out there. But a lot of these relatives, that's just the way they communicate. They don't understand anything other than that. And so it's not that they're bad people. It's just that they can't take social cues, and they don't know what it means to not get a rise out of somebody. So don't ever feel bad for excusing yourself from that situation, even if just for a little while. Also, there's a lot about the holidays that can bring on depression and sadness. A lot of people are missing loved ones that aren't here, and memories of the holidays brings them back. And sometimes it's a comforting memory, but it's also a sad memory. Sometimes it's just a sad memory. I had a friend of mine who was shot and killed 10 days before Christmas, long time ago. And I was 19 when it happened. And around this time of year, I always think about him. I think about him all year long, but especially around this time of year when he was killed, just brings back those memories, and I have to kind of fight that down and fight it off, because he would not want me to be upset or sad every year at Christmas. And when those thoughts enter my head, I have to process them, I have to deal with them, but I have to try to move forward. I can't let it sit on me for days. It's hard, but you got to try to push through it, and just kind of, you can process it in your head, deal with it how you need to in the moment, but you can't take it with you all day, every day, because it's just too much weight to bear. It's in the past, and you need to leave it there, because ultimately your loved ones want you to be happy. The ones that have passed on would only want you to think about them in happy thoughts and comforting thoughts. They would not want to know that their memory is making you sad. I know that's easy to say and tough to do. I'm a victim of it myself. I let stuff bring me down, but as a group, we're all fighters, and we're all trying to do our best, and we're pushing through it. So do your best. Push through it as best you can. The other part of the holidays, too, for me at least, is the Christmas music. Christmas music when I was a kid used to make me so happy. I was excited for Christmas, and hearing the music just meant it was that much closer. And there was a lot of memories of the Christmas tree and the presents under the tree and family and friends coming over, and just really magical, I guess would be a good term, times when you hear those songs, and as a kid you're thinking, all right, it's almost time, Santa's almost coming, there's Christmas presents under the tree, and you get really excited, and it's a good memory for me. But also, as you get older, you start thinking back to those older Christmases, and you start missing loved ones that aren't here anymore. And what I started to realize is a lot of the Christmas songs are very sad. They're very melancholy. And it was only as I got older that I started to realize that. And I think I started really focusing on the words and such. So a lot of the Christmas songs, the traditional ones that I grew up on, and maybe you grew up on too, were written during World War II for soldiers that were overseas fighting and couldn't be home for Christmas. And a lot of those Christmas songs reflect that longing to be home, that sadness of not being there with the family and with loved ones, and dreaming of a better day when everybody would be together again. And now when I listen to them, they really start to make me sad. So I have to kind of taper that off a little bit. Maybe I'll play instrumental versions of the Christmas songs instead of the ones that sing the lyrics. Or I can take them in little small doses. But I realize that triggers me. So I have to protect myself against it as much as possible. Now, if you walk into a store and it's playing, nothing you can do except try to block it out. But when you have control over the environment, then maybe try different tunes or more upbeat tunes, instrumental versions, so you don't listen to the lyrics, you just hear the music. It's a tough time to get through. It's tough for all of us. You just have to remember, it's just once a year. You have to believe that there will be happier days, and make the best of what you can. Try to have fun. Try to enjoy yourself. Avoid the toxic relatives or friends if you're not in the mood to deal with it. The biggest thing here is just get through it. Do your best just to get through it. For me, when the holidays are over and life becomes more of a routine and I know what to expect from the days, then things get a little easier. You're going to reflect a lot during this time, but reflection doesn't mean that you have to trigger yourself into depression. Reflection doesn't mean that you have to be sad all the time. Being with relatives does not mean that you have to have a panic attack. Go into it knowing that you have control over your environment. And if you need to stand up and walk out of the room, you can. You don't owe anybody an explanation for anything. It's your life. And if you don't feel like giving an explanation, don't. Just say, I'd rather not talk about that right now. And if they keep prodding you, leave. That's not being rude. That's protecting yourself. So for all you guys out there, if this is your first time seeing my videos, please do me a favor. Hit the subscribe button down below. Hit the bell for future notifications of future videos. Hit the like button, the thumbs up button. That helps me out a lot. And I hope you all have a wonderful holiday season. Happy Kwanzaa. Happy Hanukkah. Merry Christmas. I hope I haven't left anything out. Just protect yourself. Try to have fun. And remember, you control your environment. Remember, you're strong. You're very, very strong. You're here. And you're going to be here afterwards. Stay strong. You're not alone. We fight alone, but we fight alone together. I hope you all have great holidays. I'll see you soon.